Shalom, loved ones. My name is Troy Cady, and I invite you to join me now as I offer midday prayers with PlayWell communities. PlayWell is a faith network of those who are learning to live by the unforced rhythms of grace. To help us keep time to the rhythms of God's heartbeat and the movement of God's love, we like to pause to pray at various times throughout the day when we are able. During March, throughout the month of March, we are celebrating Women's History Month in these special times of prayer by featuring the contributions of women in all kinds of ways towards the common good. In the past couple days this week, I've featured some biblical personalities, the person of Miriam in the Exodus and the person of Mary in the book of Luke. Today I'd like to choose someone who is not in the Bible, but is an important person in our history here in the United States. Her name is Mary Oliver, and she is a well-known and beloved poet. Most of us know her for the poems that she's written that reflect the beauty of nature and a sense of wonder and awe when we are experiencing nature. But every once in a while she wrote things that are of a more prophetic nature, things that speak to the state of our society at large. And so in today's time of prayer, I'd like to read a poem of hers of that kind that's a little bit sobering. It's not a happy one, but it was something that she felt important to write and say. And I feel that it's important for us to hear in our time as well, because it is rather poignant and speaks to our time today. It's a poem called Of the Empire. We'll come to that in a little bit. For now, let's get ready. We light this candle as a reminder that Christ, the light of the world, is present with us. Hear the words of Jesus from Matthew chapter 11 as translated by Eugene Peterson in the Message. Jesus says, "Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace." In the middle of the day, we return to you, Jesus, our center. In you we live and move and have our being. Like parched souls searching for a spring, we thirst for you and your ways. With joy we draw water from the wells of your salvation. And just take some moments of silence now to just be present to God who is present with you. Just breathe and be present. And now here's a confession that we like to say at the middle of every day to remember who we are, to recollect who we are in God's love. I believe that I am God's beloved child. I am learning to let God's love fill my heart, to let it shape my life. So I may be just who God has made me to be, nothing more and nothing less. That I may abide in love and share God's love with all that I am. Amen. For our Women's History Month feature today, we look to the poetry of Mary Oliver in her excellent book Devotions, which is a compilation from different volumes that she's written. She normally writes a lot about nature, but every once in a while she will depart from that topic, that specific topic, although you'll hear that it's still in here. But she has something stronger to say that I feel applies to our situation today. It's a hard thing. It'll be a hard thing for us to hear, but I think it's important for us to hear it nonetheless. It's a poem called Of the Empire. We will be known as a culture that feared death and adored power, that tried to vanquish insecurity for the few and cared little for the penury of the many. We will be known as a culture that taught and rewarded the amassing of things, that spoke little, if at all, about the quality of life for people, other people, for dogs, for rivers. All the world in our eyes, they will say, was a commodity. And they will say that this structure was held together politically, which it was. And they will say also that our politics was no more than an apparatus to accommodate the feelings of the heart, and that the heart in those days was small and hard and full of meanness. Let's take some time and pray now that this would not be so with us, that our hearts would be big and soft and full of kindness instead of small and hard and full of meanness. We commit to you the work that is done and the work that is yet undone. May your beauty rest upon us, Lady Wisdom. We trust you will complete the incomplete. We believe you will finish what you started. May we meet you on the road with us, Brother Jesus. As we labor, be our resting place. Please make our work restful and our rest fruitful. May we remain present to your presence, Great Spirit. And now receive this blessing that was written by Saint Teresa of Avila. Let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things are passing. God never changes. Patient endurance attains to all things. Whom God possesses, in nothing is wanting. Alone, God suffices. Amen. Well, thank you for joining me today in midday prayers with PlayWell Communities. I'm not sure if I will be able to offer prayers tomorrow. I hope to, but it's a busy day. So just look for me, and please do join me if you see that I'm able to offer prayers. It's always encouraging to know others are praying along. In any case, throughout this month, I do invite you to join me as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month throughout March. Above all, be loved, because you are beloved.